Alright, you beautiful people, Kenshi here, bringing you episode 41 of Kenshi Age of Blood and Sand Iron Man playthrough. In this episode, we are going to wipe out the Holy Nation. So what we're going to do is we're just going to equip our guys, move the gear across so they are going to be in better kit for when the Retribution of God comes to attack us. What we're also going to do in the downtime is we're going to send Lidus up to the Leviathan Hunter's Tower because I want to get the Made-to Leviathan Slayer off them. I think that weapon on Lidus with his extra stats is going to be insane. We are now at the Leviathan Slayer's tower. At this tower you can get the Leviathan Slayer schematic, which is what we are going to pick up before we go in and we kill them. Unfortunately, you can't get that Made-to weapon any other way than knocking the Leviathan Slayer out and taking it from him. Otherwise, I would have tried to buy it or done a quest or something. But that's not an option in this. So, as you can see, they're super heavy, super cumbersome, and not really all that practical. But with Lidus's new stats, I think that he should be able to wield it somewhat. It won't be particularly a practical weapon, but it just will look really fun. And it is just humongous and does a crazy amount of damage if you can get it to actually swing. A lot of the times they'll just get intercepted in the swing because they're just so slow. But yeah, as you can see, Lidus at the moment is an absolute machine with those extra stats. And now we have the Made-to Leviathan Slayer. What we're going to do is we're going to need to pick a backpack up off one of the guys on the ground, and then we can use that to put our Udachi in. Ooh, and a Leviathan Pal, that's pretty nice. And we will equip the Leviathan Slayer for ourselves. Lidus has no heavy weapon skill at the moment, but he should be able to level up it pretty quick because he has really high melee attack and defense, which means he's going to have that underlining base skill, which means it's going to move quicker, so therefore his stats will go up quicker. So that should be pretty good fun. I mean, I do feel bad about killing these guys, so we are going to try and heal them up. A couple of them are a bit too far gone to be healed as such, but we should be able to save the Leviathan Slayer himself, and then we will still take his weapon, but we will leave him with some dignity, so he is still alive and we're not going to steal his clothes. But I think the main question is going to be is how good is a Leviathan Slayer against a Leviathan? So what we're going to do is we'll get these guys healed up, and then we're going to go out and try to find a Leviathan and give it a little fight. Nice part about being on the Leviathan coast is there are plenty of Leviathans to choose from. So what we're going to do is we will fight these two. I think taking two will be a good test of a Leviathan Slayer, seeing as fighting one Leviathan is a really good test for your character, because if your character can fight one Leviathan, that means they're generally pretty decent and quite high level. So taking on two Leviathans at the same time is going to be a very good test for Lidus and this Leviathan Slayer. Shame they won't stay still and they keep skirting around, which is making recording them really difficult. But Lidus is doing some serious damage to them. The problem with the Leviathan Slayer is it has virtually no bleed damage. Mind you, I guess it kind of doesn't need that just from the sheer amount of blunt damage it does. This thing will cleave through armor like nobody's business at the moment. So we have one Leviathan down, which I think is pretty good going. Lidus is starting to take some damage, and the issue with him taking damage is that means his dexterity drops, and each time his dexterity drops he becomes slower and can take more damage. But that is Lidus just having soloed two Leviathans, which I think is a pretty good indicator for how powerful this sword's going to be. We're going to move Lidus back to the base, but we're going to go via the desert just because getting through the desert is easier on the pathfinding. And I've also found some nomad pants that should make Lidus's stats even better. So hopefully in this episode we can get up to level 200 in dexterity, which would just make Lidus absolutely insane. We have given him a nomadic cape. The reason for that is, firstly, I think they look kind of funny, and secondly, Lidus has virtually no armor at the moment, so any armor he can get will be amazing. Okay, and now we're about to besiege Stack. The plan for besieging Stack is going to consist of two parts. First part is charge, and second part is win. This is going to be a nice easy strategy that everyone will know their part to play. But yeah, when it comes down to it, what we're going to do is we're just going to go through the front, try to hold the gate. Then once we can hold the gate, we'll create a beachhead. Once we have the beachhead, we're then going to continue to the main hall and then get Lidus to run in and try to take out the Inquisitor as quickly as possible. Once we've taken the Inquisitor down, we are just going to run out of stack real quick. So it's just going to be a lightning raid. We're going to go in, try to deplete as many of their numbers as we can in the initial attack, because if this siege goes on for a particularly long length of time, the Holy Nation will win, just because they have numbers, they have beds, and they will going to be able to support their guys. But if we can get in, get the alpha damage off as quickly as we can whilst my guys are at max fighting stats, and then we can get in and get out, and then they'll be too quick for the Holy Nation to really be able to respond. Also, I have given Ray a little banner on his back. I thought it just gave him a little bit more flavour instead of just being a giant ironclad killing machine. This way he's got a flag so people can see him and stuff, you know. I just thought it seemed alright, so I thought we'd go with it. We have Lidus now moving into the main hall. So the idea will be to try to aggro all of the Inquisitors onto him, and then when we can find Seta, we'll try to fight Seta one-on-one instead of fighting everyone at the same time. Well, it looks like that's not happening. Seta's come and joined the Inquisitors. I think Lidus... Okay, yeah, Lidus has that. That was... I have never seen the Inquisitor go down that quick. That was actually insane. Lidus just done the 3 of them in one hit. Yeah, I think I might have broken Lidus a little bit, but that's part of the fun, because later on we're going to be fighting things with similar stats to what Lidus has right now. So call it a little trial run so far, so to say. We'll get Seta healed up. We need him healed up so that we can go and sell him off to the Shek. I think having the Shek as an ally might be quite helpful. Not super helpful, but it does mean moving through their territory is going to be a bit easier for us. And now we've got everyone, I think it is time to start returning back to the gate so that we can pull out and then start moving off to Squin to go sell the Inquisitor rock. We'll just clear the guys off in here so we don't have anyone running down behind us, like hitting us in the back who's trying to run away, which is one of the Holy Nation's favourite strategies, and it's super annoying. And yeah, we'll just go back to the gate where the other guys are. Yeah, as we can see, still holding the gate. And it looks like, yeah, the gate is just about getting overrun by enemies of the Holy Nation as well. So the town's going to fall super quick, even without us. So our work here is pretty much done. What I want to do is I want to get the Mei-2 weapons off Seta, just because I will forget about it otherwise. I've got a really bad habit of that. And losing Mei-2 weapons is a little bit of a shame. We'll get them both onto Nippy, our trusty pack mule. Even though he's not, he's just a war dog and he's amazing. And he's such a good doge. Killed the last people here by the gate. So we got hungry bandits coming in and a bunch of other like Holy Nation citizens. Nothing too fancy, nothing that's actually any threat to us. And it is time that we get going, I reckon. I don't know about you guys, but I think that went pretty well. No one's got mashed up legs yet, we didn't have anyone knocked down, and no one got their weapons stolen. So that was pretty ideal. As a nice quick raid as well. We're in and out in probably about 5 minutes, and we've just knocked out one of the last strongholds of the southern nation, of the Holy Nation in the south. We'll get off to Squin, and then from Squin we can then head back to our base. Once we get back to our base, I think we'll probably need to prepare for the Wrath of God, because that will be coming very, very shortly, because that's how the Holy Nation likes to do it. And then after we've dealt with that, we're going to go up and we're going to take out the Holy Phoenix. Okay, these guys are interesting. These are Holy Nation Rebellion. Well, that's their faction name. I can't say I've seen them before, which is kind of cool. So I'm not sure if this is a mod or an update's happened in Kenshi that I missed, but that's quite interesting. We'll give them a bit of a wide berth. They're not aggroing onto us now, so there's no point starting to fight with them. We have enough people that we're fighting at the moment. We don't need a bunch more people coming in trying to fight us. And I imagine they will attack us, because there's still going to be Holy Nation within the sort, and we've still got robotic limbs, and we are hives. Okay, so the Retribution of God has arrived, but it is literally just Volantes has just shown up for some reason. There's a couple guys that show up every now and again, but it is basically him. So there must be a problem with the pathing somewhere, or maybe they found a nice big group of like 250 starving bandits that they're fighting, because they definitely are not here fighting us, which might be a good thing because he is causing a fair amount of trouble to my guards. But that's to be expected. They are in heavy plate. They aren't particularly good fighters, and the idea of them is they are just tanky so they can stay alive long enough for my slave rescue to come in. That's basically all they're there for. They're not there to win fights as such, but they're designed to hold the line long enough for my top fighters to come back. My guys have just been coming across like issues upon issues with the pathfinding, so I've had to go up to Bad Teeth, and then we're going to have to go across and then down to try and get to the base. Hopefully we hold in time, because there seems to be a few more coming through now, but it's not a massive amount, and the Holy Nation deserters or rebellion are fighting the Holy Nation as well, plus they're fighting us. So we got a nice big fight, and it is going okay for us. Our guys are back now, so we're going to be able to clear this up super easy, but it does mean that somewhere around is probably like 200 to 300 Holy Nation duking it out with someone. Okay, so it looks like we have found where the wrath or the retribution of God is, and it's just outside of our base. So right by the Holy Mines, it looks like they're just having a nice big field battle there with the Holy Nation Rebellion, which is kind of fun, interesting, different take. We've managed to find the body of the Inquisitor Delanta, and then we are just going to go send him down to Squin, sell him off, increase our relationship with the Shack, because I think having them as an ally might be useful. Not super useful, but somewhat useful, so we might as well go for it whilst we have the chance. And yeah, this fight is still going on. It must have been going on for about 2 days now, I reckon. So yeah, give you an idea of the amount of numbers that are around in this area. We'll sell them off to the Shack. The Shack will just be the Shack. They won't all be all that impressed, but hopefully it will increase our relation with them and will give us a little bit of money. We're going to send Slave Rescue. They're going to go up by Bad Teeth, and then from Bad Teeth they're going to head up towards Blister Hill. I'm going to move the walls in this area just to try and relieve the pathfinding, so next time the Retribution of God comes, or a next big attack, they will be able to come to our door instead of getting caught on that little plateau outside. So we should be in a situation to have a nice big scrap. And now, time for the important part. We are on our way to Blister Hill. Once we can get to Blister Hill and all of the guys have regrouped, because we've got a couple guys straggling, once we are together, we can then move to our situation to attack. This time, because we're attacking Blister Hill, I think what we're going to do is we're not going to hold the front gate like we did on the other time. We're just going to hold the lower courtyard, and then I'll send a quick strike team. We'll go through to the High Lord Phoenix. That's going to be the plan. We're going to try to secure the bottom area. Then as they start to bring their numbers to bear, which they always do, this Holy Nation is a slow burn in a siege, which I think is part of the reason why they can be a bit more challenging than most. We'll then send the strike team. Strike team will just punch through their ranks straight into the High Lord Phoenix's hall, and then try to catch him napping maybe, or if he's sat on the throne, it won't matter. We'll just go in and essentially assassinate him the first chance that we get. Oddly, it doesn't seem that many of them are aggroing onto us, despite us having been in their town. They're just walking up to us. So if we're lucky, this will carry on. I'm not sure if it's an event because it's night time, but they are not all running to charge us, which means that we can now get into the slower courtyard pretty much uncontested. Now that we're in here, we will be able to use our numbers against theirs. Now, they do outnumber us by quite a lot, but as my guys are fighting, they are not fighting multiple people at the same time. They seem to only be fighting like 1 or 2 people. It's changed now. This Inquisition has come through, but that's not a massive issue. We have pretty long-ranged weapons, which means when we get our attacks off, our cleaves are going to be able to hit multiple people at the same time. I also have a few guys with shorter weapons, which are going to be really good for quick attacks, so I can use them to assassinate key targets. Nippy's just bitten someone's leg off because that's what he does. And yeah, we are clearing this up pretty nicely. The Rangers are still causing the trouble. Toucantino is making his way through the archer line in the back. And then the rest of my hives are pushing up. So we are doing pretty well. We've cleared the Inquisition. And yet again, the other guys don't seem to be aggroing onto us that much. I'm kind of hoping that this is a night feature on Kenshi. So if you do attack at night time, you have less resistance, which I think would be like really cool. That would definitely add a lot more depth to it. Somehow Lidus missed that attack. Not that one. That guy's dead. And then there's another guy coming in who's done as well. I'll leave Lidus here just for a little bit. Just give him a chance for the other hives to catch up. Once the other hives start showing up, what we are going to do is we are just going to take Lidus and try to do I guess like a pinpoint strike or strategic targeting or whatever the cool military term would be. In this case, it is just going to be run Lidus at the High Lord Phoenix before he can react, and then stab him, knock down his stats, and then carry on stabbing him until he's either unconscious or dead. But we just got to find him first. So this is the High Lord Phoenix's throne room. He doesn't appear to be on the throne, as you can tell. He's not on it. He does have some pretty tanky guys with him though, so would need to be careful if this does go into a prolonged fight, because these guys are going to be better in a one-on-one fight than a lot of my hives that are here. But we have found the High Lord Phoenix, and now it is time to go in. Hopefully we can get in quick enough that they won't notice us. Yep, we're pretty much in, and now it is time just to stab the High Lord Phoenix whilst he sleeps. Little bit unfair, but I imagine it's nothing that the Holy Nation wouldn't have done if they had the chance against the hives. What we'll do is we'll just strip him of his money. That is a nice breastplate. That is actually really nice. The rest of his kit's not too interesting. I was going to see if it had any extra bonus stats that I could use, but nothing really. And we're just going to pick him up, and now we're just going to GTFO. And then regroup in the lower compound, get everyone together. Man, look at that carnage. We killed so many Holy Nation. Get everyone back together, soon as they moved into the upper compound once Lidus had created the breach. And now we're just going to pull back. There is no need to wipe this town out. We have taken the key target, and now it is time just to move back, sell the High Lord Phoenix off, and then from here we need to start our prep work for the attack on the Western Hive, as they are our next target to take down. I don't know about you guys, but I think that went rather well. That was a very quick and very efficient attack. I do need to apologise about the audio today, guys. I have a stinking cold, so that's probably why I sound a bit monotone and bunged up today, which I do apologise about. I tried to balance it out by making the video longer for you, but I'm not sure if that was worse, because then you just had to listen to me bunged up for a longer period of time. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, we need to bring this episode to an end. So thank you very much for watching episode 41 of Kenshi, Age of Blood and Sand. I have been Konzi. All of your likes, comments, subs and support have been amazing. You guys are awesome, and I look forward to catching you on the next one.